Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company at Dubai Watch Week 2023 here with Moritz Grossmann, fine German watches from Glashütte. We're going to start with a new version of the Backpage. Tell me a little bit about what is new with the Backpage for 2023.
Yes, so the Backpage of course is our inverted caliber, the backside mirrored all the way to the front side. And now we just released two limited editions of 25 pieces each with the green dial in rose gold and also the same dial in platinum. Both are limited to 25 pieces.
Now, your watches are always fascinating because so much of it is made in-house by Moritz Grossmann. For those of you who are not familiar with the brand, small manufacturer founded in 2008. We're celebrating an anniversary this year, and we'll come back to the Backpage in a moment, but I think it's important to talk a little bit about the company's modern heritage because it's embodied right here. Tremblage dial, anniversary script. Tell me a little bit about what went into this design.
Exactly, so the Tremblage of course launched in 2021. Very interesting, old traditional handcrafted technique. For the 15-year anniversary we tried to include somewhat of a secret hidden signature on the dial. You have 2008 to 2020-23 written and 15 in the subdial of the second, and it's kind of like a engraving that goes against the grain of the regular Tremblage, so depending on how you angle it, you either see it more or less. So it's kind of giving you ideas to maybe customize the watch in the future, but this one is a unique piece just to commemorate the 15th anniversary of the brand.
Is the Tremblage dial still available?
It's still available, but of course very limited, because one dial almost is a full week just of handcrafting, doing the trampling motion, so it's somewhat limited by our own production.
Now that we have a little bit more background on the company, let's jump back to the Backpage, and you can see the fascinating fabrication of the hands, which they cut, polish, and fire. Why is it that the hands are brownish purple rather than blue?
Yes, of course we're looking for something that's distinct, something unique, and of course this brown violet or purple hue, if you want to call it, is a lot more challenging. So of course in watchmaking you look for challenges and not the easy way out. So for the traditional blue you have a lot more time to take off the hands out of the pan and hit the right color across the whole hand. But here it's only a fraction of a second where you have to take off the watch and really make sure that the tip and the center of the hand have the exact same hue, and that of course across all the three hands of one watch. So here it's more the challenging part, and of course adding an interesting wrinkle to Moritz Grossmann for the hands that are already special in themselves.
So that's just the hands. You can see that this brings everything you love about fine German watch finish to the dial side. We have black polish on the crown wheel core. We have solarization on the ratchet wheel of the barrel. You can see freehand engraving on the balance cock with a micrometric Moritz Grossmann regulator. And then you turn it all over and you can see not only does the company use those distinctively brown fired hands, it has distinctively brown fired screws. There's also a lovely pale aesthetic brought about by the German silver alloy used for the bridges. And note the width of the stripes, extraordinarily broad and luminous, plus clear sapphires used in traditional golden chaton cups. This is old school watchmaking, but with all of the fun on the dial side. So jumping from the Backpage to the Tremblage and now to a new version of the Tefnut. At first glance, this looks like a fairly conventional dress watch, but it's not. Tell me what's different.
Exactly, so the Tefnut now in rose gold and in steel with a silver plated by friction dial, so it's a brass base dial. The numerals are all engraved, then filled with this black lacquer, and then you take a silver and salt mixture that is brushed onto the dial. So by this friction process, the ions of the silver and salt mixture are combining with the brass dial to form this velvety kind of texture. So a technique that was used when there was no electricity to galvanize dials. So again, another interesting handcrafted dial, now in 39 millimeters in a much slimmer case in the Tefnut line.
And you can see you're not getting less finish, maybe a smaller watch, but you're not getting a lesser movement. There's a consistent quality of finish across all Moritz Grossmann watches right up to the tourbillon, and this is the entry point to the brand. It's really quite artisanal the way the dial is put together with the silver compound applied by friction, and I believe the lacquer goes in before the silver.
It goes in before because this kind of silver friction doesn't stick on the lacquer, so you can clean it. So the numerals are engraved, filled with the lacquer, and later on you apply the silver friction process.
I want to bring in a personal favorite of mine. This is not necessarily a novelty at Dubai Watch Week, but you're looking at the latest version of the Hamatic Vintage-inspired dial with purple accents. You can see the case is quite standard Moritz Grossmann. It's when you get to the back that you realize this is an entirely different type of automatic. Tell me a little bit about why you chose a bumper automatic.
Yes, so again, it's the challenge, and of course we did not want to cover up our beautiful hand-finished movement with a rotor. So we went for something, of course, that has roots in the history of watchmaking. The very first pocket watches, or also the first automatic wristwatch, essentially, were using this kind of pendulum mechanism. So it took us 3.5 years to develop it, make it fully efficient, and of course you can still have a perfect view of the movement in a very, very intricate automatic movement that's basically unparalleled. And so it's a proud achievement for the brand, for the first and only automatic caliber.
And I believe in a very impressive 72-hour power reserve.
Yes.
So that is the Hamatic Vintage, and this is Moritz Grossmann at Dubai Watch Week 2023. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.